Hey guys, after losing my 4 phones because of non-payment, I'm having to come up with new and different ways to communicate with you. So what I'm going to try this time is to write a quote unquote open letter to Pastor Philip Felipe Santos of the Echo Church, which is located here in the South Bay part of the greater San Francisco Bay Area. Echo Church has a lot of branches. One of them, I think, is here in Fremont, California, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this is supposed to be an open letter. Pastor Santos does not know me from Adam, but I hope to talk with him. So all right, let's see if we can get started or not. And by the way, while I speak this, even though, yes, the Zoom is going to make a transcript, I'm also going to make a Google typing document with this. So I have another type of transcript. So, and then I hope to post this on the usual places, although today I was community guideline from posting on LinkedIn. I must have done something wrong over there, but I always ask that these big companies have a audio version of their community guidelines in terms of service, and I have yet to find any website that has that, but maybe I just haven't done enough research yet. Anyway, let me go start the letter to Pastor Santos. So see what we can do here or not. All right, it's going to be a little long, so just either stop watching or whatever you need to do. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a world. Mm. The Google typing thing tonight seems to be, well, actually now it's not working at all because I don't know, maybe it just doesn't work with maybe it doesn't work when Zoom's on. Who knows? Well, I'll keep trying. But anyway, like I says, an open letter to Pastor Santos of the Echo Church. Oh boy. Mm, I'm putting in the title of the Google Doc. Oh, I'm gonna again test Google typing. Might not work, obviously. If not, I guess that's okay. Ah, Google type Zoom will generate a transcript of this. All right, let's try it again. Tuesday, October 1, 2025. Oh, this is an open letter to Pastor Santos of the Echo Church of Fremont, California, a branch of the larger Echo Church. Dear Pastor Santos, I am a disabled person. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for anything, and I'm not going to quickly become a burden on your congregation. I have been a TV producer for 23 years, and I am ongoing a TV producer out of a station in Mountain View, California called, and since I'm verbalizing this, I hesitate to say the call numbers because this machine will almost always mess up a lot of words, which is why I didn't put your first name in here because it messed it up on the first draft. I am a TV producer working out of KMVT15 in Mountain View, California. Oh, I also have been a podcaster for 3 years. I have almost 1,000 shows on my YouTube channel, period. I would very much like you to be a guest on the show, period. New paragraph. Ah, you might want to assign the reading of this document to one of your interns or underlings, since A, it might be very long, and B, it might be what I think of as succinct, but still long. Again, the machine is making mistakes in putting the words down. The word I tried to say was succinct. Ah, we are all pressed for time in a major way, and pressed for time exponentially increasing every single day. Therefore, you hopefully will not be surprised if I say some of the following things. This open letter to you will double as a part of one of the 4 books I'm working on period, new paragraph. I would tell you the name of the book, but I don't want to scare you in the beginning. But since now I've scared you by saying I don't want to scare you, here's the name of that one of 4 books. Diary of a Mentally Ill Person. Ah, I have come to Echo Church in the past. I think I came to the Echo Church even before it was called Echo Church, if I'm not mistaken. And that pastor that used to be in one of the branches, who went on to be a pastor at some gigantic mega church in probably Southern California, who's no longer with Echo Church, was leading back in the day. Again, I apologize for the misspellings that the voice generated document is creating. I don't know if putting this in an AI like Gemini will even help Gemini know which things to fix. So not sure if I'll put this first version in the book or the second version in the book. I do not know you, and I do not know very much about Echo Church. I just know that I like Echo Church very much. Trying to reconnect in my own odd way. Period. You see, nowadays I'm an Episcopalian. You see, nowadays I identify as a member of the Episcopalian Church, whereas for many decades, from 81 well into the 2000s, I identified as a conservative Christian myself. The death of my wife in 1995 caused a lot of changes, and I came out the other end of that tunnel in about 2009 as a more liberal Episcopalian. And to tell the truth, I'm not all that good of an Episcopalian either, because I keep moving around both. Not all that good of an Episcopalian either, because I keep moving around in the geographic universe. In the geographic universe, and thus I keep moving around in the Episcopal Church universe. I do also still occasionally attend other churches, period. I admit I have not been to an Echo Church in quite a while, but I do miss coming, period. I'm also hoping somehow to organize a very small online study of the book of Romans, since I miss all the Bible studies I used to be in back in the day. Period. New paragraph. When my wife was alive, we were in at least one Bible study a week, and usually 3. We went through Romans and Ephesians and the book of Mark, and sometimes the Old Testament. In 1981, I was attending the church that was at that time called Conservative Baptist Church of Los Altos at 625 Magdalena Way in Los Altos, and I attended there for quite a few years, probably until the year before my wife died, and that year would have been 1994. I'm telling you this because I want you to know I'm not a foreigner to the conservative Christian movement, period. New paragraph. New paragraph. I do live here in Fremont now. Lived here for about 3 years from Santa Clara County. And if I can get my lift subsidy back from the city of Fremont, I will possibly come to your church someday. I am also, again, as I said, wanting to start a Bible study or be part of a Bible study for the book of Romans or possibly some other New Testament book. I just miss the Bible study, frankly. But it has to be online because I have no less than 11 disabilities. My intuition is telling me to stop my letter here, but if I stop the letter here, I might not ever write you again because I am very, well, what word can I use? Very sick most of the time, physically with heart conditions and diabetes and chronic pain and some mental illnesses. So when I start some quote unquote project like this, so when I start some quote unquote project like this, writing you, I oftentimes get the first letter written and then never get the second letter written, but that's better than going on for 200,000 pages. Anyway, I admire the work you're doing, and if I may be so bold, I would like to invite someone from your church who is allowed to speak to the media on my podcast for a series of shows. I did a series of shows recently with Dr. Janet from the Rafa Christian Clinic in Fresno, and due to a massive computer crash, we lost all 9 shows. So I don't have those shows anymore, and I really miss posting them on social media. Perhaps I'm misleading you. I'm not trying to say that I am a conservative podcaster. I myself believe in open journalism very strongly. As the famous historic person Voltaire is known to have said, even though I may disagree with you, I will defend to the death your right to say what you want to say. So You might appoint an intern or someone on your staff who you authorize to speak to me on the podcast. Of course, I wholeheartedly invite you to Google my full name, which should give you some information. Have somebody go on and look at a few of the over 1,000 videos. You'll find that I'm a poster boy for physical illness, mental illness, learning disability, physical illness, mental illness, learning disability, dementia, you name it. But also, I have on some very interesting guests like Dr. Janet. I've also had a man named Ralston, Rob Ralston, on my show 3 or 4 times. He is a coach for families with a child or adult on the autism spectrum. And Rob believes very strongly in the work that RFK Jr. and President Trump are doing. Again, I very strongly believe in open journalism. So you will also see liberal people in my show as well. Now that I've said all that, I'm kind of scared to send this, but of course I probably will. I'm also going to publish it publicly since it's a one-way open letter and it has nothing about you or Echo Church in it that comes from you or Echo as a source. What's here comes from you or Echo as a source. What is here is only my opinion of everything. I think the kids call that IH something, right? In my humble opinion, IH, what would that be? In my humble opinion would be an acronym. IMHO, that's it. IMHO. Thank you for the career choice you've made serving the Lord. Thank you with gratitude for receiving this letter and either throwing it in the trash, or B, having one of your interns read it, or C, possibly reading it yourself. I'm kind of on a mission to, and now I don't mean to be doing double speak, but I'm kind of on a mission to help various churches promote their mission programs. Since I've always admired mission programs of every type of church, and I feel like it's something that both right-wing and left-wing churches have in common. We're all generating mission programs to try to help around the world. I'll leave you with a misquote of my favorite Bible passage, and then I'll sign off if that's okay. In my Father's house there are many rooms. I will make a place for you there. Please know that I am the Lord, because I am going to make a place for you there, and I'm going to come back and get you. In Jesus' name. Okay, guys, that's the end of my letter. At the end of the letter, I put my phone number, email, website. I'm never sure if I would be allowed to do that here or not. I think at the risk of the fact that my phone number is brand new and the one on the internet is no longer mine, shut down or turned off and on and off and on. New phone is 341-257-3002. 41-257-3002. Take that first draft, put it in Gemini, ask for the, it's only the spelling and or word choice, not ours. Then I'm going to try to send it off to Pastor Santos. I think I've got an email address for him, I'm not sure. See, I hardly ever get a response back from these open letter things. I send them out sometimes, just as a way to help write my book, and then also Facebook and then also whatever other thing. So, all right, kids, love you.